This is about the closest I'll probably ever have in my life to an I am Spartacus moment.
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
I am Spartacus.
Mr. Reagan.
So, Cory Booker the other day, as I'm sure you all know, declared himself Spartacus. This declaration, I believe, gives us an opportunity to explore the beautiful term coined a few years ago, virtue signaling. So, not everybody knows what the term virtue signaling means, so I'd like to take this highly appropriate example as an opportunity to properly define it. Virtue signaling is the action of declaring something that you think others will perceive as virtuous, such as Black Lives Matter, or impeach Trump, or some other stupid thing. The intention behind saying these things is that you believe that the people you know will appreciate what you're saying, but not because what you're saying is actually virtuous or because you're doing something virtuous, but because you think that other people will perceive you as more virtuous just because you said it. You are signaling to everyone that you are virtuous. So, what exactly was Cory Booker's great virtuous thing? Apparently, there are all these documents related to Brett Kavanaugh's Supreme Court appointment hearings that some people thought needed to be thoroughly analyzed in order to properly assess Brett Kavanaugh's qualification for the Supreme Court position. In reality, Brett Kavanaugh's detractors, the Democrats, just wanted more time to try to find something controversial. They wanted to find some little thing that they could exploit to create some kind of a scandal. The stated theory, which was nonsense, was that there was something racist in these documents, and the Democrats were complaining that they didn't have enough time to find it. Democrats calling Republicans racist. How original.
We see Republicans now rushing to confirm Brett Kavanaugh when the totality of his record has not been revealed. They're documents with titles like racial profiling and showed a willingness of our nominee to consider using race when it came to making law enforcement decisions.
So in a great act of defiance of the rules of Congress, Cory Booker bravely released the documents to the public. He then flamboyantly declared that he was releasing the documents in order to make sure that everybody knew exactly how virtuous he, Cory Booker, is.
I'm going to release the email about racial profiling, and I understand that the penalty comes with potential ousting from the Senate. And if Senator Cornyn believes that I violated Senate rules, I openly invite and accept the consequences of my team releasing that email right now.
And if everybody was confused about the epic scale of Cory Booker's virtue, he made it absolutely clear by comparing himself to Spartacus.
This is about the closest I'll probably ever have in my life to an I am Spartacus moment.
I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus.
I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus. I'm Spartacus.
Now, here's the thing about all that. Cory Booker's claim is that he's willing to make a great sacrifice, being fired from his job for having breached the rules of Congress.
Bring the charges. I hope that they will follow through. I hope that they will bring charges against us. By the rule and bring the charges.
Mr. Chairman.
But Cory Booker doesn't actually want to be a senator. Cory Booker wants to run for president. If Cory Booker had genuinely done something to sacrifice his job and then run for president, it would have given him some kind of respect in the minds of the people that might have already wanted to vote for him. Might have even given him some respect in the minds of some moderates, maybe even some conservatives. But Cory Booker clearly wanted to get fired. He clearly wanted to affect the illusion of sacrifice, and in doing so, he was clearly not sacrificing anything. He was just manufacturing the illusion of virtue to give him some kind of ammunition to use in a presidential bid. So even if he were making a genuine sacrifice, if he were doing something virtuous, the fact that the virtue wasn't his actual intention neutralizes any virtue we might have perceived. We know he had purely selfish motives. Now here's the really hilarious thing. He didn't even break any rules. He kept screaming and yelling about how courageous he was for defying the rules. But as it turns out, the documents he was claiming to have released had been released the night before by somebody by the name of Bill Burke. So I guess Bill Burke is the real Spartacus. Furthermore, as it turns out, there was nothing in the Kavanaugh documents that indicated anything racist. These documents were not a bombshell. They were nothing. And now, Cory Booker will be derisively called Spartacus for the rest of his life. he gave himself his own schoolyard moniker of ridicule. I was watching them talk about this actually this morning on The Five, and the hosts proposed the idea that if Cory Booker and Elizabeth Warren both ran for president in the next presidential election, that they would be Spartacus and Pocahontas. I say yes. To me, that would be the best possible opposition to Donald Trump in the next election. This would be the most entertaining election in American history. Donald Trump, probably the most effective president in the history of the United States, versus the clown show that is Spartacus and Pocahontas. Just saying their names out loud cracks me up. And I'm sorry, Cory, you did this to yourself. At least Elizabeth Warren didn't name herself. She definitely deserves the ridicule of sarcastically being called Pocahontas, but she didn't run around calling herself Pocahontas like a lunatic. You did that, Cory. You did that to yourself. Honestly, I feel kind of bad for Cory Booker. As a human being, he seems like he might be a fairly well-intentioned guy. The problem is that he's helping to make public policy for the rest of us. We cannot have dingbats like that in public office. These people are governing us. All right, well, that's it for me. I'm trying to grow this channel as fast as I can, so if you want to contribute, please subscribe to my Patreon account. The link for that is in the description below. There's really nothing in it for you except the knowledge that you are helping to disseminate rational, conservative Christian ideas throughout the world. If you have no interest in parting with your hard-earned cash, which I completely understand, but you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And if you hate me, you're probably Spartacus. Good night.
There are going to be millions of Democrats that are going to vote with us this time around because they too want that promise kept. It was a promise for less government and less taxes and more freedom for the people. The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.